Hello everybody, Graham here. Thank you for joining me today. I must admit, it was a pretty cold night and it's a pretty cold start to the day. You know, they used to say as a child, Jack Frost is here. Well, he was here. He was definitely here. Anyway, we've started the day. We've got the family motivated and gone off to work, gone off to school. I've done a few things around the house. And I just felt it was the right time to come and make a few episodes. There's been a lot on my mind, more so about how the world has changed in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, there's so much destruction going on in the world. You know, I don't usually tune into the news because I feel it's very one-sided, whether affiliated to one party or another party, and you don't actually get the truth. You get a version of, or an opinion. Everything's about opinions now, a panel of opinions. But I did tune in and I watched a bit and I thought, oh my Lord, there's so much destruction going on around the world. You know, why can't people just live together? Why can't people just get on and, you know, live side by side? I'm not talking about, you know, these sponsored wars. You know, I'm talking about just everyday lives, people getting on in life. It's terrible what's going on in Ukraine and what's going on now in Israel and all these other things, and it just shouldn't be happening, you know. So that's just my opinion, you know, again, an opinion, but I guess it's a well-placed opinion to say stop and just get on with life and enjoy it. Anyway, I was talking and going on about, you know, having a thought about, and I do have these thoughts every year around this time, you know, the winter is on full blown and, you know, there's not an awful lot to cheer you up, but there are a couple of TV episodes going around that stimulates me in a way to think, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it, you know? And they're about, we worked in Australia and I lived and worked in Australia, so that's already been ticked. I've done that and it was great. It was a great adventure. I lived in Brisbane 2.5 years and just really felt the Australian life, you know. And it is really a beautiful place to live, the Gold Coast. You know, living in Brisbane and working in Brisbane, it was just a fantastic work-life balance. But it's very expensive and, you know, you're only there on a temporary visa, and that was always in our mind, although we did buy a house in Australia. Both my wife and my eldest son, they loved it, and I loved it as well. But, you know, what comes with the pleasurable side, you have to earn that living, and working in Australia is a very demanding process, especially if you're, I guess, up the other end of the ladder and having to produce on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, and meet targets. It's quite hard. But the Australian thing was brilliant, and if you ever get the chance, go out there and visit that beautiful, beautiful country. Now, I was thinking more about, you know, you got life in the chateau, life in the new life in, you know, France and places like that. These episodes keep on flicking by every day, and they do show a very, very idyllic life in some respects. You know, they show a life that is beautiful scenery, you know, cobbled stones, streets, you know, getting the French bread, getting the cheese, the wines from these beautiful little shops on these, you know, beautiful little hamlets. And they sell you that dream that it's achievable, because you know, if you're of the mind that you can buy a property that can be refurbished, and you buy it at a good price, you sell your property here, you will have an awful lot of funds left to go and pursue that dream wherever it may be. You know, I'm not sure Spain appeals to me. That's quite a very hot country, and I don't do too well in the heat, and I do like the seasons. And these, one of the times I wanted to pursue this a little bit further, I sat down and made a fors and against. And, you know, it all comes down to, are you willing and able to get up, get motivated, sell your property, pack a van up, go out there, rent something, and then look around in the regions you feel you want to, you know, spend a majority of your life. Now, I simplified it all, because we could do that, not a problem. You know, we really could do that. But I look at it, because I've had this real, quite scary illness, and I've got other complications with my health. I'm toying with this idea of, well, how much longer do I have on this earth? You know, 10 years, 15 years, if I'm lucky, probably 20 years. And where do I want to spend the rest of my able years? You know, before it gets too late. Before you'd think, no, I can't even get out of bed today. I'm so achy. I'm so this. I'm so that. Where do I draw the line and go, no, there's no coming back now. Because if you do it, it will be very hard to reverse that and come back to the life, you know, you have now. We have a lovely property. We've got a very convenient life. We have everything around us that we need. Everything is in walking distance, and we've got a beautiful seafront and promenade. So it's really hard for us. You know, it was okay to move to Australia because that was part of the work. And, you know, to be honest with you, the package that came with that, it was phenomenal. But this is going to require quite a bit of, you know, thinking and process to stay in that positive mind to get from A to B. Now, what I said last time is that we're going to book a holiday and we're going to rent one of these jeeps, because that is my ideal business plan, is buy a farmhouse, get some jeeps, and that the income from the jeeps will sustain your lifestyle. And you only have to do it for probably 5 or 6 months of the year, because that's the tourist season, you know, and you rent your jeeps out on a weekly basis, a fortnightly basis. So I'm going to do a bit of research now, and I'm going to find a region we really love. I'm going to book a jeep, and we're going to drive down to France and have 2 weeks holiday in France. And I'm going to film the journey. I'm going to do some cooking down in France as well. And it's something me and the wife and the little one really are, you know, going to enjoy. Because holidays are about convenience as well. You know, you don't want to have a working holiday, you know, so where you have to do all your cooking, you have to do all, you know, the cooking I'm going to do is purely for the channel, and it's going to be pleasurable. But we're going to try out the local restaurants. We're going to do all the things that you do when you go on holiday. Anyway, that's the thought. And that was a little bit about, you know, making your decisions in life of which direction you want to go. And I'm still not there, but we're making little bits of progress that is achievable. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time on the channel, and have a great day.